So let's go ahead and move on to the PlayStation conference. And I'm going to go... Damn. Very good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We got a full house today. We are all joined. I have Caitlin right here.
Hi.
Antony on the other side.
Yay! I'm back.
Shawn, as always. Doing Shawn things, I guess. And then Tyler across the way.
Ooh, I'm back.
Yeah, okay. So,
guess who?
Thank you all for joining us again for another week. We did... You can't hear, Shawn?
No.
What? Oh, you got to wiggle that. It's because of the splitter. So you got to wiggle that.
Oh, okay. I hear it now.
Oh, you hear it now? All right. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. We've been having some audio issues. So there was a little bit of a hiatus in between episode 7 and episode 8. But we are back. We're back with a fierce power and a shorter episode. So that kind of sucks. But next week we should be back to normal. With everything. So since I'm going to keep it concise for most of this, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an intro between all of us since we got everyone here, so everyone can put a little bit of an input in. I'm going to have Caitlin go first. So how you doing, Caitlin? How's your week been?
It's been good.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do anything, so.
Wow.
I haven't done anything this week. I sit around. I watch anime. That's about it.
See, there you go.
I know you've been playing Persona 5, and you're almost done with that. I know we took a break from that because we don't want to finish it yet, so now we're doing Nier. But what do you think about how the story's going in Persona 5? I know you recently hit one of the huge kind of, I'm not going to say anything about it and spoil it, but one of the huge things that happened in Persona 5's story. How'd that make you feel? I know I recorded that.
Yeah, I almost had a heart attack. It wasn't cool at all. I wasn't really expecting it, and it came right out of left field. So Persona is really growing on me, and it's kind of hurting, so I don't really want to finish it just yet. So
yeah,
I'm still waiting to see the video. I've heard it's Oscar quality.
Yeah. Problem is, it was on my Snapchat. I need to see if I could get it. But besides that, I recently finished Persona. Love the game. Right now, I'm working on the Platinum, which is going to take me a while. But I'm taking it with a stride because I know we don't really have anything to do for a while in video games. So that's how that's going. It's going good with me. How are you, Antony? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, you're good?
that's good.
Same answer to what Caitlin said. Oh, I'm good. Okay.
Now you gotta
I did that on purpose, just letting you guys know. I've been good, just same old. Haven't been able to go on the last couple podcasts just because my schedule's been really busy, but we'll probably talk about E3 a little bit later on because we saw E3 and all the cringy stuff about it. So
Oh God,
look forward to that. Oh God.
And we also have Tyler
I
over there.
missed you, Antony. I missed you.
Oh, Shawn.
Wow,
Stop.
Shawn, you didn't miss me? What is this?
I missed you too. If I miss you too much, people are gonna start talking. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you,
I
Shawn.
missed all you guys.
you know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right, enough of the circle jerk. So we're gonna.
Antony and I are sitting next to each other, so no promises there.
Yeah, we're like right in each other's lap.
He's like inches away from my face, and I'm getting a little too excited already.
I'm ready.
Oh.
Watch those wandering hands, sir.
Yeah, I don't want to see anyone. Yeah,
But
keep it civil.
I've been doing all right. It's been a pretty productive week. Haven't done too much. I just kind of work and but it's been a chill week. I actually today earlier just went and drove a fire truck. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, right. Like I did that, and the second I got home, I crashed, and then the next thing I know, I woke up, and it's 10 minutes before the podcast, so I hauled ass over here, and here I am.
Wait, you got home and crashed the fire truck?
No, he went to sleep.
They let it take the truck home for a week. You gotta drive around and stuff like that. Show it off to your friends.
Was that like your elementary?
I see off-roading. I take that shit on the back roads.
Yeah.
Start hosing houses.
Was that like your elementary school project where you got to take a gerbil home for the week and make sure
and
you
if
took care of it?
And it's like, the teacher has to go and like buy another one without the other students noticing, and then
Damn, that's never fun. Well, we're all keeping the motto alive with that 100% professionalism, 0 prepreration, and then we come in and then we experience a shitload of problems for half an hour and start at 7:30. So
we do wing it though.
I just like the fact that for like 2 weeks we get nothing but threats from Kyle. Be on time. We're starting at 7.
Exactly. Like I said, we got 2 minutes for the podcast. So I was like, I hauled ass out of my bed and like right into my car. I'm like half awake, and I'm like grab my keys, my wallet.
Well, it's a good thing we both live more or less like close.
Yeah, seriously, I'm like right across, like literally there's a lake. I could have swam over and like just knocked on his back door and like just like soaked. Like I'm
It's on
ready
the
for
heart,
podcast.
right? It's supposed to be on the heart.
yeah,
No, it's on.
I fucking
Not
knew.
the heart.
All right,
Oh,
time out. Technical difficulties.
No, yes it
Is
is.
it working?
No, stop. What the fuck? You went the wrong way.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch the knob. It was Caitlin.
No, it wasn't.
It was Caitlin. I didn't touch the knob.
I didn't touch the knob.
because it was on the right knob.
No, I just looked
Caitlin
at
touched
it.
the
No,
knob.
Caleb,
Full
you
of
looked at it. No,
All right.
it's because my eyes are brown. Don't mean shit.
All right, that's enough knob touching for Caitlin.
I didn't do it.
She's banned from
Okay.
touching anymore.
I won't touch any more
No more
knobs.
knobs.
I don't want knobs.
Nope.
Wait, are you trying to say something? You don't want knobs?
No, stop. Everyone, okay.
Okay. Look at
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What is this guy?
we're all acquainted with each other.
that. Sadly.
I'm glad we all had a good week. I'm glad everyone was able to make it in today. Although, as always, we had some issues. But we're gonna go ahead.
How was your week, Shawn? Well, my week was
Oh
good.
yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
for
yeah.
asking.
Sean.
I'm so glad that you remembered.
How was
It's
your week,
good to be
Shawn?
loved.
Sean, how was your
My
week?
week was good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I made money. I bought stuff.
Sounds
like a good week.
Sounds like he had the best week of all.
That's the dream right there. Make money, buy stuff.
Yeah, and have no one ask you about your week. That's the best.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Well, I pre-ordered Stormblood, actually. I got the collector's edition of Stormblood, so
okay.
I'm actually going to be getting back into Final Fantasy Online, which is going to be a little weird after a 3-year hiatus.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm sorry for leaving Sean. It's because like I talk to him all the time, so I get sick of him, right?
Excuses.
So I try to excuse his voice whenever possible.
You get sick of me. I get sick of me. Imagine having to hear me talk all the time. It's terrible.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the people that tune in. All right. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go into some housekeeping real quick, and then we'll move straight into, we're going to have kind of a hybrid where we're going to talk about E3 and then also talk a little bit about the news surrounding it. Since we did miss some time, we're going to devote a lot of the remainder of the episode to E3. So you guys will get a lot of the talk basically. And so right now with the housekeeping, basically what I want to say real quick is, as always, thank you for tuning in, you guys. This is episode 8 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We will be talking about E3 today, and we are glad that you all were able to join us. If you like our content, please leave a comment, leave us some feedback, a thumbs up, a like, dislike, whatever you guys feel is right. And if you want to hear more of us, go ahead and give us a subscribe. In the description, we have both our podcast on services such as iTunes and Google Play. So if you have either of those devices, you can listen to us on the go instead of on YouTube. We also have our Twitter at Thought Patrol PD, and there is also a Discord channel, which will also be in the description below. If you want to come, I have pretty much all the hosts inside that Discord. If you want to come around, tell us we suck ass or do whatever you feel is right, we'll be there, and we'll give you a high five. I'll send you a dank meme, and we'll go on our way. Yeah, Cam's got their dank SpongeBob memes. So with the housekeeping aside...
Are you okay, Sean? Bless
I
you.
don't know what the hell that was.
Yes.
Was that a sneeze?
What was that?
Was that a sneeze?
No, that was me trying to choke back laughing. Unsuccessfully.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to do a little bit of an overview of E3, and then we'll go in depth into it and talk about it for pretty much the remainder of the time we have for the podcast. And I'm just going to do an overview of major releases from each conference, and then how do you guys want to do this? You want to separate it where I'll go over a conference, some major releases, and we'll talk about that conference in general, and then we'll move on to the next one?
Well, there's been something nice, like we discussed this before the podcast, but yeah, I like that idea. That's pretty...
Whoa.
We're like, wing...
Shade.
Who's the host here? And who's the co-host here?
Coco.
Would that indicate equal duties upon all?
Yeah, if you want to get into that, what did you guys do to prepare for the podcast?
I haven't seen a note,
Silence.
bitch.
I watched E3 videos.
Okay.
I prepared.
I actually
All
watched a lot.
I like the idea, Kyle.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
We have
All right,
Big
so
Sucker over here.
we're gonna first start with Xbox's E3. I'm gonna go over some of the major games we saw at the E3 conference. We saw Forza Motorsport 7, Minecraft in 4K.
Wow.
Wait, Minecraft's in 4K
You
now?
really see the detail.
How detailed can it be?
You
everything's
can see the
voxel.
pixels inside the pixels.
At
Oh
what point does a
Whoa.
game become Ark Survival if it's in 4K?
All right, so we also have Crackdown 3 they showed. They showed Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 as well. And as everyone knows, they showed off the new Xbox One X, which was normally named the Scorpio, which I thought was a much better name than Xbox One X. They need to fire the dude that's fucking naming these consoles, because Xbox One X...
You wonder like how do they come up with that? I mean, obviously they probably sit in a room for like a certain amount of time, but then like how did they come to that decision? Like, these are professional people. I mean, at least I hope they're professional people. At least the people.
They're all...
sounds nice.
That's because they're all old men.
Wait,
sounds nice.
like
How do we
music- it
appeal
has
to the younger
musicality to
audiences? Just put another X
It has-
after the
Got talking
Xbox.
to the microphone.
It has
Wait, what is it called?
musicality to it.
Xbox One
Yeah,
X?
One X.
Yeah.
1X.
You know, like how when you were in middle school and you made your profile and it was like big case, little case.
Oh, dude,
big
I had
case X.
Rambo 273 with the uppercase X, lowercase X on each end. So it was
Yeah,
so
there you
cool.
go. Yeah, that's who's naming these
it-
consoles.
it
now.
tracks-
Based on
it
the,
attracts
maybe it's
people.
the 3 Days Grace album, One X.
No, what? If you look at the word, I think that's what they were going for. Is Xbox One X is Xbox.
That sounds so stupid.
Wait,
What a mouthful.
You just kind of like...
I mean, it's
know
not
what-
exactly that, but it kind of fits into that. That's what I've been hearing about it. So, okay, well, that is
That's
due.
dumb.
That's due for worldwide
I legit
release.
thought they were going to go with 0 because they've been going down with the numbers. They had Xbox, then they had 360, then they had 1. So I legit thought they were going to call it the 0, or maybe go into the negatives. I mean, follow suit. At least you have a theme running.
-1.
-1.
The negative
Yeah,
360.
the Xbox -69. Buy it now.
Hashtag.
Dude, I'd buy that shit in a heartbeat. It'd be pre-ordered already.
I still think Scorpio was a better name.
Yeah, I definitely think
same.
Scorpio
Yeah.
was better.
Scorpio was better.
Would it have suited the Xbox more, or would it be, because what was the Switches? Do you guys know?
Was it the Neo? No.
No,
it was
I think it was Neo. No,
Just like a joke.
PlayStation Neo.
No. That was PlayStation. What was the Switch called? What was everyone's name for it before it was called the Switch?
Wasn't it like the Rainbow or something like that?
No, it was
Nah.
Some sort of hippie ad.
Someone get on
They
that.
usually pick
Got 100
like
people here with a
Ultra.
device.
Yeah, right.
Stop
Ultra.
slamming the table. All right, so for the Xbox One X, it will be due for a worldwide release on the 7th of November for €449 in the UK and $499 in the States. So there is it is a very strong system. So they had a lot of games they were showing off that would play 4K 60 frames per second. Now, not every title is like that. More of the major sports you'll be seeing that. Like they showed Crackdown 3 and it's like,
Nintendo NX.
yeah, NX, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for the Xbox, they were showing off all these things, and then at E3, they'd be like, oh, Crackdown 3 is going to be in 60 frames 4K, locked at 30. And you're just like, well, it doesn't seem like they're either the game developers, at least right now, got stuck in the middle of the development cycle with the X and not getting the the dev kits for it, so they weren't able to properly optimize the game. So hopefully in the future we'll see a lot more, because it is a very strong system. For $500, you're getting a medium end PC that could play a lot of games. So I hope they'll be doing stuff. They also showed off Deep Silver's new Metro Exodus, which is the newest in the Metro series of games.
That I'm excited for. That is about the only thing that Microsoft showed that got me excited.
Yeah, I saw those, and like I just played the first two. They had a sale on the Xbox for 2033 and Last Light, and I mean those are great games. They're good story games too.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes me want to read the book, because that's what they're originally based off of. So
The comics are good.
they're comics. Oh, okay, gotta check that out.
Yeah, so that was Xbox's E3. So what do we think now? I know earlier in a earlier episode we had talked about this. I think it was in episode 5 when we were talking about where games are going. Shawn had made a statement where he said that as we move forward, he thinks that games will become more just like branded PCs that they'll start selling. And as we see the Xbox One X come out, we're starting to see more of that gap being closed between high-end PCs and console gaming for somewhat of a cheaper price. So what do you guys think moving forward? First of all, we got a couple things we could talk about. The first thing is that with this Xbox One X coming out, it's really cool to see that the technology is advancing, but they're still being plagued by the same thing. We aren't seeing anything. What is worth buying a One X? As we're looking at this,
I can tell you exactly why. The only reason to buy a One X is because you got a $500 4K Blu-ray player. It's also a multimedia system. That's what it's got. Seriously, if you go out and price 4K Blu-ray players right now, that also have the TV box capability, Netflix, Hulu, et cetera, the stream boxes,
all that stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to find one that's $500. They're all way more than that. So the big selling point that it's got is the 4K connection. And this time they've actually made a system that does what they advertise. It's not like the Xbox 360 where they said it had 1080p, but it could only output in 720 because of the connection to the motherboard. This one actually does 4K. It does real 4K. It's not the pretend bullshit that PlayStation did. But Xbox still doesn't have the game library. Even with the backwards compatibility, it's still not a strong enough system to get me to buy it.
Yeah, they really need to build off of that, like coming into E3 and then releasing the console. It's like you would expect them to like really start producing these, like a lot more AAA games and stuff. They were to compete with Sony. I mean, they have the console now. Now they have to act on the rest of their end and definitely build upon it. I mean, yeah, the backwards compatibility for original Xbox games, that's not going to do much. That's kind of like for those longtime Xbox fans who are like, here you go. Here's some old games here. Like it's kind of like for the 360 backwards compatibility. Like it was just cool, but like it's not a game changer. Definitely, it's kind of like a nostalgia thing, if anything. But they need to move forward, not move backwards.
It's definitely a burn on Sony because Sony had the opportunity and to get the systems to be $14 cheaper per unit. They didn't put the chipset in to play the PlayStation 3 games. So instead of which PlayStation owners would have paid an extra 14 fucking bucks per box to be able to play their old games. But instead, so Xbox is just rubbing it in their faces. I think that was the only fucking reason to do it, was just to get a little bit of market share there and kind of go, hey, look, we did it. Fuck Sony.
Yeah.
Give them that one.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's Phil Spector, right? The guy who runs Microsoft. It's Phil Spector, isn't it?
Spencer, I thought it was, no?
Spencer?
Yeah,
Spencer? Well, whatever the guy's name is, when they asked him about first-party titles, because that's been Kyle's biggest bitch from day one, is they don't have the first-party library. He said, well, we've absolutely got them in the pipeline. I'm just not going to say anything because it's not going to be for, it might be like 6 years or 7 but they're definitely there and they're really good. I don't want to say anything though because it might be really long, like 10 years.
They'll be on the brand new Microsoft Xbox One XX little case
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do a little bit of a run around the table. What do you guys? We're gonna just get everyone's opinion real quick because another thing, like sometimes I listen back to our episodes. And besides the cringing over the audio quality, sometimes I trying to see how we can make this better, right? And the thing is we have 5 hosts, and a lot of the times not everyone's talking. I just want to get more people to get their opinion out there, and I understand that it takes longer, but still. So we're gonna go around the table real quick about Xbox's conference. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to see from Xbox? And would you buy an Xbox One X theoretically if you had the money? Would you put the money out to get an Xbox One X? So I'm gonna have Caitlin go first.
No, not at all. I've never liked Xbox. I mean, we had a 360, and I think its only perk is having like Halo, and that's about it. I just never wanted an Xbox, and probably never will.
Damn, she just straight up like that's what it is. You mean the jock console? Like, let's play Call of Duty and Xbox and some sports games.
That's about it, yeah. It has no games, and it's just, I don't even know. I mean, it can go 4K. I mean, who cares? It's still a shitty console, so.
Shit. I mean, it's not a shitty console. They just don't have a decent game for it.
Exactly, so it's shitty.
Okay, well, I guess that's how it'll be. So, what about? So, let's see. What do you think over there, Antony? What are you guys doing? Are you on the same website?
We're both on the same website, and we're both looking at all the games that came out for E3 2017.
It's my cheat sheet right here.
Wait, hold on. There's one game that I'm really, really looking forward to. It's a PS4 exclusive. It's called Senran Kagura Peach Blast. I'm really looking forward to that game. I want to play it on the big screen.
Sounds like a Notice Me Senpai game right there.
Okay, and if you don't know what that is, just Google it, and Google Images alone will give you the exact idea of what it is.
If you're under a
Google
certain age limit, I would suggest not to look at it.
Oh God, what are we doing?
Yeah, or if you're offended by big titties. Yeah, I recommend not checking that out if that's the case.
Okay, but we were saying for Xbox One.
Yeah, for Xbox's conference, what do you want to see in the future?
Okay, well, first, if I had the money to buy an Xbox One, I probably wouldn't get an Xbox One or Xbox One X. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Is there another X?
No, there's one X. Xbox One X.
The next Xbox game is going to be Xbox One X squared.
It'll suck your dick.
Right the fuck off.
That's good.
No, but I definitely wouldn't buy it. I think I'll just put more money into like the PS4 if I had that money. It's just I'm not really interested in the games that they're coming out with. I don't know. It was like Caitlin said. It's just they don't have like the games to bring me over to their side. If they had more games, better games, they would definitely have me.
Come
But
to the
as of
dark
now,
side, and I can.
Definitely is.
I can feel your boner.
What the fuck?
Ooh,
We're a little bit too close to be saying that kind of lingo over here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you not talk around the pop filter? What's going on?
Otherwise,
This isn't.
As long as I don't say pussy.
This isn't an ASMR channel, bro. You need to keep chill on that. All right.
okay.
So okay. So what do you think, Tyler? What about? Because I know you have an Xbox.
You mind if I go last for this, since I'm the only one with the Xbox here that plays?
Yeah,
Xbox?
that sounds good.
Okay,
What
thank
about you, Shawn?
Give my full report.
What do you think about Xbox's conference?
I think they have a solid piece of hardware. I think their conference was dipshit because I think the only people that didn't make a fool of themselves was Nintendo. So, no, man, like I just got this. There was this meme I saw where it was that Mario Party level where you're on the top of like an island that's tipping, and you have to bump each other off. And the meme had like Nintendo. It had Sony, it had Xbox, and then for some fucking reason, the fourth player was EA. And like, I don't know why, but you had Xbox and Sony just immediately turn around and run their own asses off the top of the table into the zone and lose like two retarded chickens. They just turned around, screamed, and jumped off. And then you had Nintendo not move at all, and EA ran in circles for a moment and then threw themselves off. And Nintendo didn't move; they just stood there. And they won by default because they didn't fucking do anything, and the other idiots just threw themselves off. That was EA for me.
In a nutshell,
Caitlin, what's happening?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing,
I didn't
Caitlin?
see Xbox do anything.
No,
What is going on?
what is going on? I'm so confused.
It was a gift.
On a podcast.
Dude, it's the meme podcast.
Was it that good? Was that a good meme?
It was that good. Yeah, it was accurate. So for me, Xbox didn't say anything new or unusual. We knew what the Scorpio could do. We knew it was coming. It's not like it was the mind blower. They dropped Crackdown. Crackdown did decent numbers. It wasn't a fucking mind-blowing title. Nothing they released is... I mean, it's not like... Metro's coming out on all the systems. Mm-hmm. So, again, what stuck out to me about Microsoft is, look, trailers of stuff. A little bit of claps. Okay, look, we are going to be doing new stuff sometime in the next decade. Okay, go Sony. We're done. You know, and Sony followed up with doing almost the exact same thing. Only Sony was like, VR!
I know. Oh my God.
Like, the whole thing was a disappointment. But I don't, unlike everyone else, I don't think the Scorpio is a bad system. It's a good system. I just don't want to play it for the same reason they don't. You've got Gears and you've got Halo. That's not enough for me to come over. Sony's got a shit ton load of stuff. They're continuing to support it. They've got a thriving indie market. You know, they're doing enough to support their client base. The only thing they're not doing is supporting their older games, which I think they should do. That's still my biggest gripe with Sony, is the fact that they abandoned their PlayStation 3 titles. And that was always their strongest thing.
I think Shawn hit it like right on the head there.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely will fall back on what Shawn said there. Now, me being the only one here that actually still plays Xbox, because you guys are all Sony. You know, I'm here kind of like in the shadows, just like I'm the Xbox guy, and everyone else is like, you know, here playing Sony. And you know, there was a time where most of us did have, you know, we did have a 360 and we did play, and it was funny. It was fun, and you know, we had good times, and for what it was worth it because we all had the same console together. That's what I brought it down to initially. That's my own preference. It's like I got the console that my friends had, and up until these past couple of years now, you know, everyone kind of slowly moved over to PlayStation because they're like, hey, let's get this because, you know, the Xbox isn't really doing much, and they haven't really done much lately at all. I mean, yeah, they have the new console coming out. That's pretty cool, but as someone who's been with Xbox for I want to say almost a decade now. I've been in the market for looking and switching over to Sony, or maybe even get like a Switch or something like that, because yeah, they haven't done much other than, you know, kind of making their older games come back to life with, you know, backwards compatibility. That's the only thing that I really see them having going for them. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm looking at their own exclusives, and yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Crackdown. You know, all the other games that I usually like to play are for every other console, or at least for, you know, Sony. And I'm actually looking right now. I just forgot about this one, Ashen. Did you guys hear about Ashen? It was like that Dark Souls twist, more cartoony looking game.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. That's actually an Xbox One exclusive. So that, I mean, I might actually get that. But besides that, I think PlayStation definitely has better games overall. At least for everything that I play on the Xbox, PlayStation has themselves. And then I don't really care too much for Halo anymore. It's kind of gone. It's come and gone, you know. Eventually, everything kind of loses its touch, and they're getting there. Gears is getting there. I mean, I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's a bad franchise, neither of them at all. But you know, you kind of, you know, you start to get, you know, a little bored of it after a while. And PlayStation has a lot of promises, so I'm definitely in the hunt for getting another saving my money, not getting an Xbox One X. I'd rather get, you know, a PlayStation or a Switch now, and you know, that way I still have an Xbox. I just don't need to have 3 different generations of one now, because I still have my 360 that's just collecting dust. If I get the One X, the Xbox One is going to start collecting dust. It's just going to be a Netflix console for me now. You know, I'll just have that connect to a different TV. That's what it'll end up becoming. So yeah, a lot of these games are, you know, from Microsoft. The E3. Their E3 conference didn't impress me all that much, other than the console reveal and the original Xbox compatibility. That was about it for me. The rest, nothing. So, yep, there you go. Sorry, Xbox fans.
All right. Actually, so we've gotten everyone's opinion. Yeah, I think Xbox will eventually step it up, because I think they've been working on getting Xbox One X out.
It's not a terrible like company at all. I do like how they have their own twist on it, and you know, it just comes down to preference at that end, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and we're going to move on to this. We're going to go over most of the conferences, some of the major things for you guys out there.
So
what happened?
Antony is what happened.
Oh, he's looking at Senran Kagura.
I turned over and looked
on his iPad of all things.
iPad.
The more I look at this game, the more I feel like I'm gonna really, really enjoy it. I enjoyed all the other ones.
The more boobs he sees, you know, the better the game's gonna be.
Those physics better be better than the last game I played.
Better be better. Better be sin.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna cringe hard when I listen to this later.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in
it's gonna be E3 all over again.
Jeez. So let's go ahead and move on to the PlayStation conference, and I'm gonna go.
Damn.
God forbid.
There you go.
All right. No, let's make peace, please. What the fuck was that?
I lost it. All right, we're moving on from that, Kyle.
Oh shit! Wait, I gotta mark that down.
There you go.
Just in case. All right, I have candidates for our intro that we get as we play to the as we go through the podcast. So for PlayStation E3, I'm gonna go over some of the major games that were either shown or that are on the way with PlayStation 4. And we have Days Gone, which is the zombie style game. We also have the new God of War, which looks very good. We have the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man coming out. Stop!
All right,
scream.
We don't have Kayla on the podcast anymore.
Oh, my ears are bleeding.
That's gonna have to
Those poor
be.
viewers.
I'm gonna have to edit that too.
No.
Don't worry, I'll see that one on the wave graph when that shit pops up. It's just straight up max decibel for a good 3 seconds. So there's Spider-Man, which they showed off. They have Last of Us 2 coming, but they haven't showed any more. They didn't show any more of it at E3. Same thing with Death Stranding. They showed a bit more of Detroit Becoming Human, which looks like an interesting game. We have Gran Turismo Sport, and then they showed off some of the new Uncharted game as well. So
They also showed off Beyond Good and Evil and A Plague Tale, and those both look really good.
oh yeah, Plague
Yeah,
Tale
the
looks
Shadow
very
Colossus.
interesting.
Yep. You had Shadow Colossus, Call of Cthulhu, Matterfall.
I am so excited for Call of Cthulhu. Wow.
Speak.
Call of
I have
Cthulhu.
notes.
Yeah, they also showed a lot of oncoming support for their VR system, where we're getting Skyrim VR, which will never die.
So stupid.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Dude,
will never
what
die.
the hell? Knack 2, why? Knack, who played Knack? No one played that game.
Are you talking shit
No one played it.
about Knack?
Knack 2. Knack 2.
You
they
have
a
the
sequel.
knack to-
For the love of God, why?
He did that.
Pulled a pun. I have no idea how they got enough money. Someone enjoyed it enough. You know who it was? That donkey guy from YouTube. He probably put like $400,000 into it so they can make an Knack 2. So we're getting Skyrim VR. There's some more games coming out that we have Star Child, The Impatient. They had the monster fishing game for Final Fantasy.
Oh, God.
Bravo Team, which is another FPS. We have Moss, and they look like a lot of the cool like platformers and other things that they're releasing. They look really cool for the VR. I don't really give a shit about Skyrim because I played Skyrim 1,000 times already, and they're still releasing it on things. But it's nice to see that they're still showing support for the PSVR. It's not.
Talk
it wasn't.
about kicking a dead dragon.
Is it the same story every time they release Skyrim?
It's the
Hell yeah.
exact-
Why would it be
Because
different?
I know they're releasing on the Switch too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Yeah, but now you can play Skyrim on the go.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty cool. But
That's pretty cool.
other than that,
So they also showed the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, which looks really cool, and I think it's being remade by the same people that remade the Modern Warfare remake, wasn't it? I think it's something like that. Blue Point, something like that. And so I'm super excited for a Shadow of the Colossus remake on PS4. That'd be awesome. They're also they showed off Uncharted. They showed off the
Well, they
new.
don't charge full price for it because I mean the game's old as fuck. They've done 2 releases of it already.
What's
Like
the
that
second
should be like a
release?
$30-$40 title.
What was the second release?
They
of the game?
did it on PlayStation 2. Then they did an HD remix on PS3, and then they did an HD release for PS4. And now they're doing another release of it for PS4 remake where they redo the entire game, and it looks like it doesn't look all that different. I played the living shit out of that game. I ran through it 3 times. As soon as I saw the trailer, I'm like, what? I mean, I'll buy it because I'm a fucking Colossus fanboy, but what the fuck are they doing? Like,
I mean,
if
I've
they
never
released
played-
that with Ico, if they did both of those, like did an Ico Colossus double pack, right? And they were both remade, I mean, it would be worth it, but I just don't understand why the one game.
I know.
I guess it's just for people like me because I've seen playthroughs of Shadow of the Colossus, and that was the original one. And seeing that they're coming out with a completely new, completely remaking it into something that's like that I can play or like I can like watch and actually enjoy is like good. And I think they're just trying to capture like my kind of audience or people like me, the people that like seen it and heard about it but never have gotten a chance to play it yet.
There's boobs in
very
Shadow of the
small-
Colossus.
Is there?
I don't know. This is your type of game.
Well, yeah, you know, okay. You got me there. You got me there.
All right.
They should put ego in there. I mean, it's a shared universe. They should. I mean, if they're going to do that, why not just do both games?
All right. We also,
You know?
yeah, they also showed off some DLC for Horizon as well, and they showed the new Detroit Become Human game, which looks pretty cool as well.
It does.
So they closed out with Spider-Man. They showed a gameplay thing for Spider-Man, which looks really good. I'm excited. It reminds me of Spider-Man 2 back on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yes.
That game was amazing.
Arkham Knight during the day.
Yeah, they do.
That whole Spider-Man
Yeah, the
thing,
stealth.
It's very bad.
Yeah, the stealth thing I see as well. And I wonder if they'll do like an Arkham Asylum kind of thing where
Please.
it's just Spider-Man fighting a bunch of villains, which would be
Please.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we haven't seen any Can you not?
What?
That gets picked up.
The tap?
Yes.
No way.
Dude, you could, I'm telling you, you'll hear it.
All right, you
Okay.
two, kiss and
You'll
make
hear
up.
it.
Come
All
on,
right.
we're on a time
Flag
crunch
it.
here.
All right, so they didn't show any Red Dead 2. We didn't get any Last of Us 2. There was no Death Stranding. But they did, PlayStation 4 did say they withheld a lot of stuff from E3. So
Did they say why?
no, I don't think so.
Because E3 is garbage now.
Yeah. We'll also talk about that near the end, what we think if E3 is still necessary per se. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a curveball here, and for the next section, I'm going to have my wonderful sister, Kaylin, read off the major game releases for Nintendo at E3. So go ahead and take it away, Kaylin. Show them your
curveball.
game face.
Easy out.
Okay. So they're releasing Super Mario Odyssey. Kyle, leave me alone. Okay,
you
there we go. Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
Woo! Titties.
Yeah.
an untitled Pokemon RPG. That's gonna be exciting. Metroid Prime 4,
Yo.
Legend of
Yes.
Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC,
Yosh.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle,
That's interesting.
Splatoon
What
2,
the fuck?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
and ARMS.
Whoa, the ARMS content.
Arms.
ARMS content.
No.
So, as we know, Nintendo doesn't hold a press conference.
Xenoblade.
They're
ARMS.
usually their representation at E3 is usually they'll have like some demos set out for people to play, and it was Mario this year. Last year it was Zelda. So they usually do their Treehouse live streams, but we have seen a lot coming for. They also have a Kirby game for the Switch that's coming out as well,
Cool.
That's exciting.
where you could actually like recruit enemies and have your friends play as the enemies from the game, which is kind of following a Mario standard somewhat. They have the DLC content for Zelda, which has some new weapons and armor. And it also has the trials, which is like a bunch of floors that you run through with like no armor or weapons. And then if you complete it, basically the Master Sword, the way it works is if you're near something that's like evil, like Ganon based or something like that, it will glow, and instead of doing 30 damage, it does 60. And it also doesn't, it will eventually have to be recharged, but the sword doesn't break. But if you complete the trials, the sword will basically be glowing all the time. So you have a 60 damage weapon at all times. But at that point, if you're already beating the game, what the hell's the point? Unless you want to like go and beat a bunch of Lionels. It might help you towards 100% completion, but I beat the game. I did like 40 of the palace, or what are they called? The dungeon things that you get stuff from, and probably won't play it again until the story-based DLC comes out, which will probably be later in the year. Or I think it's like mid next year, something like that.
They were talking next spring.
Yeah, they have new amiibos coming out. They have an amiibo for each of the champions from Zelda, so those are going to be cool. They have a Metroid amiibo that's actually like squishy. It's coming out that looks really cool.
Squishy.
Like the Yoshi one.
Well, the Yoshi one's like a yarn, but still, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
That
But,
Yoshi one was impressive.
yeah, they also showed off a lot of, obviously Mario was there. Mario looks really cool. We know kind of like the main gimmick of the game now, which is basically you take over enemies with your hat, which is interesting.
Yeah,
It looks like
them.
it looks like a new take. When they compared this Mario to Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. So I'm really hoping we get like another super impressive Mario title. That will be like because this mechanic is fresh. So I want to see how they design the levels around this mechanic of having to take control of enemies and use them to progress. So I'm excited to see where it comes from. It looks very pretty, and it's going to be on the Switch, so it's going to be cool to take it.
What happens to Mario when he takes off his hat?
His hair shows. He tosses it. If it misses, it comes back, and then he puts it back on.
What happens to him when he's controlling
It doesn't
someone
work
else?
on him.
Oh, I wonder. I don't know. When he throws it, the camera assumes. I wonder if Mario
Does he just turn into a vegetable?
Oh,
and
no.
falls limp on the floor.
No. I've seen it. What happens is Mario gets sucked into whatever he's possessing. I'm gonna say possessed.
Yeah.
They say captured because the word cap is in it, and it's a pun because Nintendo's like that.
Funny.
But I'm gonna say possession because that's exactly what it is. Because they showed him taking over the man, and he like gets sucked in like Ghostbuster style into his head, and he gets like the man gets like a mustache, and he takes control of him. But yeah, he gets sucked into whatever he throws the cap at.
Okay, I didn't see that part. Okay.
You can also use it to teleport to other locations. You can throw it, and if it hooks on like a flagpole or something, it'll teleport jump you. It's an interesting mechanic, but the play style is bizarre. And the world designs are all over the fucking place. Like Mario's always had a consistent world design. This is the first one that shakes things up. It's like this is Nintendo's announcement that they just do not give a fuck. Like 0 fucks given. It's Mario, like it or not. And I'm gonna play the shit out of it. That's the only reason why I'm getting a Switch so far.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good, and I'm excited to see because I haven't played a Mario game since a little bit of Galaxy was the last like major Mario game I played, the first Galaxy. So it's cool to see them still. It looks like we're gonna get a lot of good titles for the Switch. It's also cool to see that we are getting somewhat third-party support for it with Skyrim, and then they have FIFA coming to it. Again, we've all said it 1,000 times, but it won't be like how we want it, where everything will be coming to the Switch. But it's nice to see that it won't just be a Nintendo game player. There'll be other games you could play on it as well. So, real quick.
When is Shin Megami Tensei coming out? They still haven't given us a date.
Yeah, when they showed it, it wasn't even, like, it was at starts of development. So it might be end of next year, early 2019, something like that. But it'd be really cool. I'm super excited to see what they do with it. I'm hoping they pull like a Fire Emblem Heroes, where it's just like a I
will riot.
Where it's just like Shin Megami Tensei based. What's that game? What's like the original parent of those types of games? What's that shit called? Like the original games in that formula, Shawn. Like Hyrule Warriors. What's it called?
Oh, Warriors. The Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors.
Games.
Dynasty Warriors.
Well, yeah, but they call them Warriors games.
Yeah,
they always add Warriors in there.
I'm hoping they don't pull like a quick one and do something like that. We actually get another like Shin Megami Tensei game, like as it is. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a round table one more time. For this time for PlayStation, how we think PlayStation did this E3 compared to last E3, and then we'll move on to Ubisoft next. So I'm gonna go ahead and have Caitlin start as usual.
Well, I mean, I love Spider-Man.
Oh my god!
So, I mean,
boys and girls over here.
Yeah,
have to turn down the volume
Seriously.
when I'm editing
yeah,
this.
I love Spider-Man. So I was immediately impressed.
I love
I love Spider-Man.
They shoehorned Miles in there.
So, I mean, yeah, I like PlayStation's conference.
Can you talk into the microphone?
I'm talking to the microphone.
There you go.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like the games they showed.
Sass.
I mean, it's not like Xbox, they didn't have a lot. I mean, I feel like they had a good amount to show. So, yeah, I was impressed.
That's good. So, moving on to Antony, what do you think about PlayStation?
I am definitely looking forward to Days Gone. I saw the trailer for that, and anything that has to do with zombies, I'm definitely like buying it. Let's see what else. Senran Kagura.
Oh my god!
I'm
God.
buying
Why
that.
haven't we seen you playing Killing Floor 2, Antony?
Because he hasn't.
Anything that has to do
Because
with
he's never online.
zombies.
That too, and that game scares me because I played it on Kyle's PS4.
For shame.
That game scares
For
me.
shame.
He loves zombies, but he's
scares
afraid
me.
of them.
It scares me.
Dude, one of the zombies has giant titties.
It's fat though.
Technically, they're more demons than zombies, but it's got giant titties. That's all I'm saying. The
BBW.
nipples are like
That's
3
okay.
feet long. I mean,
That's okay.
Is it okay?
That's okay.
Anthony's like, if I could wink to it, we're good. Going British on
That's
you.
his rule of thumb.
We all remember Eris
just
more.
roll a pig. Oh no!
treating it like a day of infamy. We all remember that day.
What is the day of infamy?
Erismon.
I still have PTSD over that fucking picture.
I didn't see anything for Yakuza
Cold.
6.
So cold.
But I heard that they actually talked to like actual Yakuza members to try out the game.
No, that was one of the earlier Yakuza games that they
really?
did that with. That I was telling you
Okay.
about. That was like Yakuza 3 or 4 that they did that with.
Still, I think that's pretty interesting.
That's funny as
I
shit.
might get that one just because it's
Yakuza 0 was really good.
really.
I've heard it was hilarious and
It was funny.
yeah, Yakuza's games are usually funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So what do you think, Tyler?
But I didn't watch too much of the PlayStation conference.
Lowly Xbox present.
Yeah.
I said present. I meant peasant. But okay.
I am a gift. Thank you. No. I did watch a little bit of the God of War. That was really cool. That was a series I always wish I did get into. But again, never really owning anything Sony, I didn't have the chance. And then also I thought, as I'm looking at now, some of these games too, that just refreshing my memory here. Did you guys hear about the Vampire game?
Yeah,
I thought that was
it's Vampire.
Yeah, it's a vampire game. But I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive, but right here it says it's also for Xbox One and PC. So that looked really interesting. I don't know if it was maybe the song that got me more attracted to it, but the trailer was really neat though too. And anything kind of settled around like vampires and stuff like that, or like that always interested me. So besides that, there wasn't much. Yeah. I got the shorthanded on that end there, so.
Yeah. PlayStation really, although they showed a lot off, they didn't really do much. Like, it's not much different. The start of the conference was pretty cool. Like, they had those people come up and they were playing the instruments with, like, remember, Antony, we saw that with, like, the water effects and stuff?
That was actually pretty cool. I really liked those little like performances at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. But besides that, it was a complete copy-paste from last year's E3. They just let the games do the talking. What is going on over there?
Dumbass.
I didn't know this was a feature.
This is
It's centered on
They've always
Kagura.
done that.
I know they have a thing where you could like actually grab their boobs.
Take
Yeah.
your
There's
tablet
hands
away.
that like got just
They look like-
grosser.
they look
Take
like-
his tablet
This
away
is not what
now.
I'm here for, though.
They look like
I heard
Mickey Mouse.
mods.
Anthony, you're grounded from the tablet. No more tablet.
Seriously,
None.
I heard. Oh
Take
wait.
it away.
Oh, there it is.
This.
Oh
There
my
it is.
God.
Jesus. There it is.
Holy
There's a
shit.
boob slider. That's
Wait, why does she have
ridiculous.
one nipple? Where's the other one?
No, that's a button.
That's a butt. Okay.
It's like Mickey Mouse hands.
Oh
It's kinda
my-
crazy.
This is retarded. Why are we doing? Okay.
So this episode is E3.
So Shawn, what do you think
It's like-
about PlayStation?
I think that Microsoft threw themselves off the table and then Sony jumped off right afterwards. I mean, they did marginally better. They both showed a tiny handful of first-party titles, 90% of which we had already seen. They gave you a little bit more footage of games where you knew what was coming. I did like the fact that you got to see interactions with humans as opposed to zombies in the Days Gone gameplay trailer, and you got to see how you work with environmental hazards and you can approach games. Things kind of like Hitman. All right, do I want to trigger the horde to overrun the enemies? Do I want to sneak in stealth style and try and take it out? More risk. That's kind of interesting. I like the fact that they showed cutscenes from Call of Cthulhu. We still don't have any gameplay. The Shadow of Colossus remake is nice to hear about, but unthrilling. I want to see more about Matterfall. That's got me excited. Beyond Good and Evil has me excited. They had a new cutscene. It seems like they changed the art style because they had a cutscene with Paige, the pig dude, about a year ago, and the new one was totally different.
I'm sorry, Shawn.
So
They're like watching this video of Cedric Kagura, and like you could change how big their boobs are, and so they just
why
kind of
don't
like.
you guys go ahead and finish the boob shit, and then I'll finish what I have to say. Okay?
Oh,
I can't hear Shawn.
Sorry, guys,
tapped
for
one of the ads by
technical
accident. You just
Take
wiggle
his
it.
tablet away.
Professionalism at its best right here, guys.
All right. I'm done. I just wanted to see that because I was looking through YouTube and I saw Centered on Kagura, mod, boob, whatever, and the thumbnail was like
Mod boob.
huge, like
Try now.
unimaginable boobs, and like it
Talk,
was showing
Shawn.
gameplay of it, and it was just funny because like
Shawn.
the game's not supposed
speak.
to have that boobs that big, so the game's
I'm
kind
gonna
of like
throw
funny.
myself off
Life
the
isn't
table with
supposed to have
Sony.
boobs that big. Alright? The back is breaking. That's what you meant to say. And just keep that iPad over your crotch there.
Yes, I'm just gonna keep that there. No
you
one
go.
take it
Shawn,
away
keep
from me.
talking.
Well, he will. Just chill out. Stop breaking the.
I can't.
Damn it,
It was just working.
I can't hear
Okay,
Sean's
wait.
voice. I'm scared.
All right.
His beautiful voice.
So
I miss him.
we have everyone's opinion on PlayStation. We're gonna go ahead and
I
continue.
was especially excited
Stop
about
screaming. Stop screaming.
All right, Sean's like, guys,
About A Plague Tale.
guys.
And I did like the fact that they gave us more of God of War trailer and we finally get to see some combat. But again, nothing really terribly new. Nothing we didn't know. God damn it, people. Seriously?
I am listening, Sean.
fixing our headphones.
I am
When all of
listening.
you talked.
I am listening.
Sean,
Stop screaming.
I'm listening
Shit.
with my heart, Sean. I just can't hear you, though.
All right. So now we know for the future
It was
to bring
less than
4
thrilling.
headphones.
Marginally better than Xbox. I'm done.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They really didn't do anything super expansive, and that's what we'll talk about that a bit later as we go into what we think if E3 is really necessary as we move forward. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Ubisoft, and I'm gonna read off some of their major games.
Wait, is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
I say
Ubisoft.
there you go. You got Antony.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. So we have Beyond Good and Evil 2, which they showed off. We have the new Assassin's Creed. We have the new Far Cry 5, Skull and Bones, The Crew 2, the Mario and Rabbids game. They talked more about this South Park game coming out. Starlink Battle for Atlas, a new definitive edition of Rayman Legends for the Switch. And they're also bringing Steep to the Switch, which is like a snowboarding game. Wow. So they had...
Failed horribly in all of its other incarnations. That game did so bad. And now they're like, we're going to bring it to the Switch instead of burying it like they should have.
Yeah, and they also had Miyamoto there, and they did like the whole. It was like a surprise, and they did the Mario and Rabbids they talked about, which is basically XCOM with Mario characters. But that it's new. I can't. The one thing I say about Nintendo is at least they're trying new things. They may not always work, but they always attempt.
They're doing something.
They got an
They
A
could have
plus
made
for
better
effort.
partners than Ubisoft.
And a Snickers bar.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of Ubisoft. Again, they just showed off games. The new Far Cry and Assassin's Creed look okay. I like that they're making changes to the way the game is. They're removing the tower system where you have to climb things to like fill out the map and
Yeah.
shit like
I
that.
like that one.
That's so
It was
stupid.
fun, but when you do it for every game, it gets a little old, you know.
Exactly.
And I recently just revisited like the Assassin's Creed series, and I'm finishing up 3, moving on to 4 again. And I mean, just kind of seeing the transition of the games and how they slowly develop over the years. Like, I mean, this one does look really cool. I like how they're kind of changing a lot of things up. They also have like almost like a leveling up system too that I saw. That was really interesting. So, and then, you know, seeing the
And the Destiny UI as well. Don't forget that.
yeah, and the whole Egypt setting too. Let's see how that goes. So, it looks interesting.
Yeah, it definitely looks really cool. But yeah, Ubisoft just kind of did their thing, showed off games, and was Ubisoft. They added a lot to the cringe compilation as well, which is just excellent. It's so satisfying watching what grown ass men that run companies think is appealing to the younger generation. It's very satisfying.
Snappers.
Especially considering half the people that play the games aren't even the younger generation. Like, these guys are bananas.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna also, since Ubisoft needs they're kind of not as, they don't do as much. We're just gonna kind of shotgun through these, and we're gonna go next to EA as well. And EA showed off some good games as well. They showed Anthem, which is kind of like a Destiny inspired
That-
game. Which
Dude.
it looks really cool, but the problem is
Anthem was full boner. That was full boner. That looked like awesome. That was gameplay. It wasn't fucking cutscene. If it follows through on half of the promise that showed, I am down. I am totally down.
yeah, it looks cool. I also saw a funny video where Anthem was being played by real people.
I saw that. That was fun.
That was so funny. I'll have to show that to you, Antony, after we're done here tonight.
I saw that right before I got here.
But that was funny. I found that hilarious. I lost it when that dude joined in and he was eating the chips. That shit got me.
The other guy's like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" I mean, yo, I know how it is.
Yeah, brought this fool with me. Yeah, the whole thing is like, man, I really hope I get Jara's Wrath and not these stupid shards. God, this game's 40 gigabytes of bullshit. Yeah, I love it. They also showed off more of the new Battlefront, which, again, I'm sure everyone's a little bit cautiously skeptical about the new Battlefront because the first one kind of pulled everyone sideways and fucked her in the ass without taking them to dinner first. And
Stepped on my left nut.
Yeah, the left nut alone.
Left nut, yeah.
The right. Jeez, Kaylin. Just
Yeah,
bitch slapping
two
the
might be the
pop
right.
filter. So yeah, that looks cool. I like that they're kind of implementing the older Battlefront mechanics. So there's classes now and stuff. I like the map that they showed off. I have no idea what planet that was on.
I believe that was Naboo.
I like that it was cool that
Are
they
we still
had.
playing from the? And they're still playing from the Imperial perspective, which is brand new. Like the
Oh,
story
yeah, the
mission for
campaign.
once isn't a hero; you're playing villains.
Yeah, the campaign looks
And from the
cool.
brainwash, yeah, that's the part that's got me interested is the campaign. I mean, I like the fact that the mechanics are coming back, but they put a campaign into it, and it's something different. You know, you're playing a brainwashed Imperial. That is fucking cool.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I like that they have all the heroes from all the chill out over there. I like how they have all the heroes from all of the like eras of Star
The whole
Wars
saga.
So yeah, we got to see Rey and Kylo fighting, and we got to see Yoda and what's his name, Darth Maul. Although
Tell me they have Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah,
No, please tell me
fuck
they have-
Kylo Ren,
if
dude.
they have a
Darth
playable-
Maul all the way.
they have
Jar
Clone
Jar
Wars, so
Like a Darth Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks
That'd be
as a
awesome.
hero. Man, that'd
he's
be the hero that if you get him, you just
I will
suicide so you can play as a soldier
top
again.
dollar to play as Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Jar
I just
Jar
like
would be
kill
awesome. I
everyone
like
with
Jar
my-
Jar.
Yeah, Jar Jar has like laser beam vision, so he just like one shots everyone he sees, and then if he says something, it causes.
with comedy relief, and then
Oh.
just kills everyone.
Oh God! When
Let's
he's
suck your cock.
Damn it.
Lisa likes the Siemens.
Jesus. So they showed off
Young in
that.
essence.
I'm excited that they're going back to like Clone Wars and stuff because I thought that was really cool with the older Battlefronts. So all they need now, they also have the whole like all the DLC will be free, so that looks cool, almost like as an apology to the first game. But I'm
God.
again cautiously skeptical moving forward about it. Skeptimistic, yeah, it's my new word for the day.
Optimistic.
Everyone, that's your flowcab word for the day. We also have a way out. They showed FIFA 18. Obviously, we're getting FIFA on the Switch. We have Madden, NBA, and then Need for Speed Payback, which was, Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
You can tell we're not sport games.
Sport players, no.
No way.
I mean, I like sports games, but you know, you get a new. It's like the same game every year. They go one step forward, two steps backwards. So they'll like take something away and they'll add it on like a few more years like down the road. And they'll be like, oh, this new feature. It's like, no.
Are you eating a candy? I could hear it in your voice.
That was my last candy. I reached into my pocket and was disappointed.
There's more downstairs. I have.
yeah,
I
I know.
have plenty of
Yeah, I'm
strawberry.
definitely on my way out here to
I
grab
know.
some of those.
I have plenty of strawberry Japanese canes for you guys. But that was funny. I could hear it in your voice. Like you started talking like a retard, and I'm like, he's got a fucking candy in his mouth.
Like this guy has anything to speak. Like the other night, he comes on. He's like, Shawn.
I mean, for this podcast, guys.
It's like he's gumming the end of a tiny dick. He's just. So Shawn, what's up, man?
Please.
Most wild
This is a podcast.
I've
God damn it.
ever heard.
Not anymore.
It was so bad.
We're just gonna name this episode the ear rape episode. Although I don't know how well that will go in search algorithms. The moment you put the word rape in your video, it'll probably be flagged. So yeah, again, it was good. I'm excited for
unwanted ear violence.
yeah. You just got to reword it. But I'm excited for these games coming out, and I think we have one more conference, which is Bethesda. Nope, two more, which is that we have Activision as well. But so we're gonna talk about really also Bethesda and go through Bethesda. They showed off some really good games. I'm excited for Bethesda. They showed off although they did it weirdly. I really didn't like the Bethesda land shit. And they're also getting a huge. They're getting a. I'm sure it was cool for the people there because they actually had like a theme park there that you could walk through and do things for the people that were at E3. But like while you're watching the conference, you didn't see that, so it came across as weird. But they're showing off the new Wolfenstein game, which looks really good.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. It's got Hillary Clinton in there as the main bad guy, so that's exciting.
Before is the White House.
Yeah. They're also showing off.
I kind of miss when Wolfenstein was goofier. Like when they rebooted it and took
Have
the
you
serious
seen the
edge.
trailer for
Was
Wolfenstein 2?
fun.
Have you seen the trailer for
Have they
Wolfenstein 2?
gone back to the?
Yeah,
Have they gone back to the humor?
Yeah, they have a dude that's like constantly tripping balls, and he sees like little animated characters, like something out of a Disney film.
I see Disney Nazis. Oh, they're everywhere.
So yeah, I recommend watching the trailer. Like you start and you're like crippled from the first game, and like you're like wheelchairing out, and you have a gun and you're mowing down dudes on a wheelchair. It's definitely it's really cool looking. I recommend you look it up. They also showed off The Evil Within 2, which I recently got the first one because PlayStation does that E3 sale. It's cool. I like it's confusing.
Did you finish it?
Not yet. And I like the
No, I told you, man. It's not going to make any sense at all until you get the DLC. They
I'm
fucked
prepared
it
for
up.
that.
So it is absolute bullshit until you play, and then you're like, oh, now it's a good game.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because before then, it's extremely weird.
But I'm excited for the second one. Hopefully it runs better because the first one doesn't run very well
Oh
on the
my
PS4.
god, the first one.
The frames take a shit. But again, it was like one of
I hope the AIs are better.
It was one of like the initial like within the first year of the PlayStation coming out, one of the titles,
Really?
I think.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
we looked it up. It's pretty old.
Yeah, it's a really old game.
Is it old?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
We also got they showed off Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Everyone throw your
Are
hats.
they bringing mods with the Switch, or is it just
I don't
the
know.
game? That's the thing.
They
you
didn't
gotta
talk
think
about
of.
that with the Creation Club bullshit.
Or even if they release it for the Switch, I hope they include the DLC as well, because they just do base
Yeah, I think
Skyrim.
I think it's the complete edition.
I think that
like they
I
do
would
with
hope
PS4.
so. Otherwise, it'd be underplayed.
Yeah, they also had they
I
showing
won't be
off.
satisfied until there's a Senran Kagura mod for Skyrim.
Oh my
on the
gosh.
Switch.
We have our closet. Well, I wouldn't even say closet, but our friendly
he's out
neighborhood.
the-
No, it's not closet.
Our
at
friendly
all.
neighborhood
What are you talking
shitlord.
about? What are you talking about?
Weeb man.
What are you talking about?
So, also they showed off a VR experience for Doom. I wouldn't even say an experience; it's just a straight out game with VR, which looks really cool. And they also have the Fallout 4 VR, which is you could play through the entire game of Fallout in VR, which is pretty cool. I could see that being a problem if you're trying to move places because a lot of the game you walk a lot in the game. Caitlin, goddammit, smacking the pop filter. You walk a lot in the game, so teleporting around and stuff, I could see that becoming a nuisance. And they also showed off a bit of Quake Champions, which is cool that they're bringing Quake back. Although I've heard the public opinion on Quake Champions isn't the strongest because people think that they're going a different route from the original because it's kind of more like there's characters that have abilities and a lot of it's not as skill based anymore. Although there is still the twitch shooting mechanics as there always have been, and it's still like that, and the movement's still there. People just don't like the fact that some people have abilities that kind of can put the fight in their favor when it's supposed to be just based on how well you could shoot. So I've heard some problems with that as content. Also, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Creation Club. You guys have heard about this, right? With the Skyrim and Fallout 4 coming out, they have their own little service that they do where they basically have mods on there that you can buy with credits. But the problem is these credits have to be purchased. So they're basically selling mods, right? And from what I've heard with this program is that the modding people that create these things that get onto this site, they're only getting 25% of the sales.
So
No,
they're not.
they weren't getting anything before. They were giving it away for free. So
Yeah. It's just weird that now, although people are still just going to go to like Nexus
honestly,
mods.
I think the mods should be free. I don't think you should be paying for
obviously.
them, and I think it should be free.
Yeah, and the thing is, people on PC will just go to, if that's the case, will just go to like Nexus Mods or a website to do it instead of going through an in-game. The only thing that it provides is a bit of ease of comfort because you're not digging through game files in order to install stuff. You're just, it's something that's built into the game. But I can't see this doing very well because a lot of people are getting them a shitload of feedback about it, and it's not necessarily
I think
positive.
it negates the point, man. It negates the point. You have the PC community has always been about sharing information and helping each other out and doing new shit and breaking things and seeing what happens when you break them. And they're trying to capitalize. Yeah, they're trying to capitalize. Yeah, oh yeah, PC Master Race.
Master Race.
They're trying to capitalize on something that's always been free. And if you try and take that away, people are just going to do it themselves anyway. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to start charging for it, but instead, if you supported the modding community, do you know how much free press that is? Like, how many people are going to go and buy the game just because you support the people that are playing it and that are putting new content out there? And that's a perfect field to farm your next group of level designers from. I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
I think they're getting
definitely.
too greedy.
Yeah, and they've received a lot of feedback, like I said, from the community, giving them that nice whole middle finger, showing them exactly how people feel about it. So we'll see what they do going forward if they pay attention to this feedback. So yeah, that was Bethesda again. They had the whole Bethesda Land thing that they were doing. They showed off some more. They showed off a little bit of Morrowind for ESO, and yeah, the VR. I'm glad that these people, these developers, don't see VR as that much of a gimmick where they've just completely abandoned it within like its first couple months. They're still supporting it, although I'm sure there's much more room for improvement in that area because we're not getting as many games as you can. But I'm sure the people that own VR sets definitely feel like it's worth it. Especially
Well,
like
the technology's still too expensive.
yeah, that too. And although PlayStation tried to remedy that with the PSVR, it's still a little bit out of people's reach.
Yeah, you gotta buy a whole. This is the price of a whole new system, man. It's another $400. That's intense.
I know, but
that's an intense
compared to
jump
like the
take.
Oculus or the HTC Vive, which are $800 on top of a PC that can use them. It is yeah. Right now we're waiting for it.
Dropping the Oculus in price though. Like
Yeah.
the Oculus is talking about it going down to I think 6, and then they're trying to work the tech so that they can get it down to competitive pricing.
Yeah, they're definitely trying, and I do want to see, like we talked about it before, especially online. We talked a lot about it on episode 5. If you want to hear more of our opinions about it, Antony,
I give it 2 years before it's like affordable.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Although 2 years ago
if it-
we were still in, we still had VR 2 years ago. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but it was in the
it was-
beginning.
I would take a
Yeah.
hit on the equipment. If you wanted people in to buy the VR, what I would do is I would take, and they're probably already doing this, but I'd subsidize the equipment. I'd take a big hit on the equipment. You know, that equipment, I would sell the equipment for like 200 something and just raise the price of VR games by $10. You know, and get as much equipment out there as possible, and then maybe start sliding the scale a little bit. But there's just not enough equipment out there to make the VR feasible for most people. Out of the, 40-something people I know that play PlayStation, one person has a VR headset, and he's used it once on Arkham VR. And that game took all of, an hour or two, I think? You know?
Yeah. I'm hearing the noise.
I do too.
I wonder what causes that. I apologize for that, for all you out there, but I have no idea what causes that noise. We're working on remedying it. I thought I had it fixed. So,
Still,
I can't hear it.
I think it has something to do with the splitters. I'll see if it's being picked up in the
it
recording.
probably is a splitter because that thing's
splitter
like
sucks.
old.
Yeah.
It's old.
I need to get a new one. All right. So real quick, I'm going to run over some of the other E3 games that we have coming. So we have Agents of Mayhem, which will be PS4, Xbox One, PC. Borderlands 3, PS4, Xbox One.
Oh yes, Borderlands 3. Oh my.
Which will be PS4, Xbox
God.
One, PC. Call of Cthulhu, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Formula 1 2017,
Yeah.
which is PS4, Xbox One, PC. We have Kingdom Hearts 3, which will be on Xbox One as well as
Yeah.
PS4 and PC, which sounds awesome.
KH.
We have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is PS4, Xbox One, PC. Metal Gear Survive, which is PS4, Xbox One, PC. Micro Machines World Series. Is there a way I could shorten this? I'm going to say PlayStation, Microsoft PC, NBA 20K18, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Project Cars, which will be on all systems. Project Sonic, all systems. Rogue Trooper Redux, all
Terrible
systems. Sonic Forces, all systems. Strange Brigade. I was going to say World War, but it's WWE. And then Vampire as well, we saw. So yeah, that's a little bit of our rundown of E3. This episode is going to be, we're not done yet. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, but this episode is going to be a bit shorter, mostly because we're running with a time constraint. So we're going to go ahead and go around the table, talk about what we think about E3.
As a whole, or just those last little games that you were talking about?
E3 as a conference.
Oh, as a
what
conference.
E3 has been,
And
where
what's
we think
become.
E3 is going, and if again, we'll probably be repeating quite a bit, but like we heard before, when they talked about this, when they talked about opening it to the public, they're gauging if they how popular E3 is. They want to know if it's profitable to keep it running because a lot of companies have been dipping out. Although I can say with E3, one good thing about it is it's really, really good for indie developers. If indie developers can get in and show off their games to magazines, websites, stuff like that, and get their game out there, they love that. I was hearing someone talk on another podcast talk about he had went to E3. He was working with a magazine to report on games, and they had a lot of indie developers that couldn't even afford to be at the E3 itself and get floor space. But what they did was they were operating out of hotel rooms. So they had indie developers. You'd go to a hotel room. He said he went inside and he'd try the game VR, whatever he was doing, and then he was able to report about it. But he did it all. They did it all in a hotel room, and they gave him stuff. Excuse me, and they gave him stuff and sent him on his way. But it's really good to get your name out there, and especially since it was open to the public. Although public people wouldn't be going to these hotel rooms to do stuff, but it's really good for that. That
It depends.
notoriety.
They got huge tits. Antony would be there.
Damn.
Yep.
Antony would be in the bathroom, in that or in one of the closets, watching from a distance.
Nah, I'd make my presence known.
Okay, stop this. Circle jerk.
Oh God.
So, I'm gonna have Caitlin go first because she's the. Ken, one time I'm gonna have you lead out the show
I'm good.
because you need to get better at this.
No,
I'm good.
that's sibling.
Come
love right
on.
there.
She's awesome. What are you talking about? She's got it.
No, okay. So, what do you think, Caitlin, about E3?
Damn.
I think it's just a hype train, really. I don't know. I don't really see much of a point in it. If they make their games, they're gonna get it out somehow, and people are gonna know. Like, everyone's excited for all these games, so I mean, what's the point in the conference if everyone's gonna know anyways? I
Yeah.
feel like it's a huge hype train.
I could see with like the internet being around, a lot of stuff gets leaked before these games even are officially revealed. So it's really hard to generate like a huge reveal because a lot of times people know about it before it's even talked about unless they're really secretive about it.
Exactly.
So I understand where you're coming from with that. What about you, Antony, over there? What do you think?
Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention.
Bruh, E3.
I was playing with the little.
Come on, bro.
What are your thoughts
What
on
is this?
E3? Pop filter.
Oh, the pop filter.
Stop touching
yeah.
the pop filter.
I'm sorry, it's fun to play with. I think it's kind of dying down because I remember being excited for E3, and then this E3 kind of just crept up on me. I don't know if that's just me being more busy or just me losing interest in it, but I think it's kind of dying out, and eventually it's just gonna be like a whole online like conference thing that
Like
they're
what
gonna
Nintendo-
upload.
Oh yeah.
Like what Nintendo does.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going in that direction completely.
What about you, Tyler?
I kind of second there with what Antony said. I don't know if it's because of just things going on in my life. If maybe I'm just kind of looking at it from a different perspective. But I remember the first time I watched E3, and I think it had to be like around probably when Skyrim came out. Like the first times when I actually sat down and watched like a conference. It seemed really cool, but yeah, over the past few years, I hear like so many people say like, "Oh, E3 doesn't mean all that anymore." All these things get leaked out, and you can just go ahead and watch things on YouTube or whatever, just things on the internet, and I just kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, for the most part, it's like I don't really. It's cool that these a lot of these companies come together and they'll share games, whatever, and like everyone will come in, sit down and watch their conference, but you don't really need to have that physical aspect of it. It's cool and all, but yeah, it does cost a lot of money, and I don't know, I see it dying down. I like what Caitlin said though too. I kind of like the whole hype train. I mean. I do find it interesting, and I do think like all these games when E3 comes out and they show these games, I think there's a lot of like hype. I think it's just a hype train.
Well, that's a huge moneymaker, though. If you get people hype about a game and if
That's
you keep
true.
them hype enough for the well, look at No Man's Sky. People were hyped
exactly,
about it.
but that's
I
the thing.
definitely
You
bought
get to
into
that
it.
end
That's
game,
why
and
it's a bad
like,
thing.
wow, yeah.
Like, it's a bad thing to have
Yeah.
all that hype around
Oh
these
yeah,
games.
Too
true,
much hype.
true.
It's really, it's
Yeah.
not a good thing to have all that hype.
Yeah, I mean, hype is cool. It is really good. You definitely see like the
See, this whole time, guys, I've had like a 3/4 chub from all this E3 talk, and I've been excited. And then you said No Man's Sky, and then
I'm sorry I told it.
Sorry.
and my
I'm sorry.
and my wiener receded to proceeded to recede into my body.
Proceeded to receive.
Back
Now
to
I
its
shall-
5-year-old
He's like
native state.
turtlenecking it
And I
right
shall-
now.
I
It's like
shall-
scared turtle.
And I shall never see him again.
No Man's Sky 2 coming soon.
Don't you dare. So yeah, guys,
And
No
it
Man's
was-
Sky. Pretty cool game.
That's a perfect example of why E3 shouldn't exist anymore.
How about
bought
you,
it.
Sean? How about you, Sean?
Actually,
No,
wait,
we care about what you think.
real quick, Shawn. Before we get into that, one cool thing is we got a shout out from Jonathan. He's actually in Fort Knox. He's doing training because he's in an academy for the army.
I love you, buddy. I miss you.
So he has a shout out to
See you, my lover.
all you guys out there that are listening. If you remember Jonathan, he loves you all.
He's kind of that
He's
annoying
giving you a
guy.
shout out. So yeah,
Thank you. Hope you're sucking people off there in Fort Knox.
dude, that's all they do in Fort Knox.
Yeah, I miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his MOS. Suck off. So yeah, what about you, Shawn? What do you think about E3? I know we've talked about this before, but give us somewhat of a concise thing based on this current E3 and maybe E3 in the future. Because real quick, I've heard that with this, they've sold out all their tickets. They sold out all their tickets, and they're probably going to do it again next year. But Shawn, how long do you think that we might have E3 before something else arises, especially as the internet continues to get better and streaming becomes easier and stuff around that? What do you think?
I think E3 is a dying breed, and I don't think that's a good thing. You got to understand, I got a few years on you when it comes to E3. And E3 used to be a celebration. You'd spend all fucking year waiting. Go eat a dick. You'd spend all year waiting for this fucking thing to come out. That's where all the big bombs dropped, where all the big news was. They had booth babes, booth dudes. They had fucking they never had a roller coaster, but I'm just saying it was a huge event, right?
A roller coaster.
Man, they had roller coaster.
Yeah.
Never mind.
This is where you got all of your big news. Eat a dick also. It trickled out. It would trickle out throughout the year. You'd get little pictures, little this, little that. It was a huge thing. And that would open up the rest of the year. That's when you'd budget your shit, figure out what you wanted to get for what, get all excited. The hype train was real, but it was good hype. And as the studios, but the thing is all these, your different companies, Nintendo and Sony and Xbox and Sega and all the big guys, as they've evolved and as our technology culture has evolved, it's leaving them behind. And E3 isn't exclusive anymore. You've got K-PAX, you've got all these other cons that happen where they go and release information there. Then they go and do their own side releases. E3 is not unique anymore. It doesn't have anything to hold everyone to it, to be the big momentous event that it used to be. So now it's just another con. And with it being just another con, you lose a lot. You don't have the big drops, the big bombs, the big announcements. As you saw, the whole thing was hours and hours of game advertisements. And if you fucking watch the humiliatingly bad fucking Squaresoft conference, Square Enix, that thing was terror. And I sat through the whole motherfucking thing. I will never do that again. I'd rather stick a glass rod in my dick and break it than sit through that shit.
Right.
That was fucking awful.
Isn't that a porno?
It was no, that's a form of
Probably is.
torture. But E3 now, as much as I hate to say it, it's a relic, and I don't think it needs to go away. It's just another convention. It doesn't have the power that it used to, and that makes me sad because we, as a part of gaming culture, it was like Christmas for gamers. You spent all year waiting for this cool news, and when it happened, it was legitimate news. It wasn't like, oh, here's 30 seconds of gameplay footage for a game you've known was coming for 4 years. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
It was big things. It was big things. But now, I don't know, man. I don't think it should go away. I don't think it's bad. I just think they lost the magic, and it's not E3's fault. It's Nintendo and Sony and Xbox for changing with the culture and hosting their own little things. It's K-PAX popping up and doing their thing, and it's just not. I think it's important to have it as a convention, but I don't think it's any more of an event now than any other gaming convention anywhere else in the U.S. It just happens to be the biggest one. Comic-Con is a big thing because of its mass and size and because it's recognized by Hollywood. So Hollywood actually puts money into Comic-Con. So yeah, well, Comic-Con still has that power because big media recognizes it as king, but big media doesn't recognize E3 as king anymore. And I can go online and see the bits and pieces that I need to see anytime I want to. So why get hyped up over it? I mean, it's hard to care.
I think it's the internet.
It makes me sad again.
I don't think it's the internet's fault.
Harsh. No, I mean, they always had leaks, man. I mean, the internet's been around since E3 was legendary. I mean, in the 90s, E3 was legendary, but you only heard about it through magazine articles. So it was like whispered in hushed tones. Did you see it dropped at E3? E3 was when everything would change in the year and you'd get all the new announcements. Now they announce things periodically throughout the year whenever people talk to them online, in magazines, in interviews. It's not a big time for announcements. They just do it whenever. You know, it's not that the internet changed. The internet's still just as prevalent in terms of leakage as it was, 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's just there's so many more outlets. They drop news whenever. They don't wait for the third quarter of the year to do it or for whatever. They don't wait till E3. He's not a big, everything I just said comes back to it's not a big deal anymore. It's just a convention.
Yeah.
But how is that a bad thing, though?
What, that is going away?
I think the bad thing is that the way gaming culture has changed now, is the perfect example is No Man's Sky, right? The hype train starts and people buy into something on games that aren't finished. They're not built. You don't have any idea what you're actually getting. It's only words and a couple of pictures. That happened before. But before, you would have a huge amount of testing and you get a completed game, not half of it, not the training sequence on the disc and the rest you'd have to download. It was a completed game that was released to market, and that completed game would have been thoroughly reviewed before people actually went out and bought it. Now everybody buys things in advance. They, instead of voting with their wallet like they should be, they get all excited and they go out and buy it because there's all this hype that loads up throughout the year. Before, it all happened during one period. Everything would drop then, and you would have a whole year of like little media releases or coming out before those games would be released. So you had plenty of time to really drill in and do your research because they would constantly release information, and then you would get reviews like a week before the game was released. That doesn't happen now. So I think the hype train before was healthy and it was good for the industry. But now, in all honesty, I don't see that much hype at E3 now. It's just an advertisement for video games.
Oh, the
it's
hype
not
was
a
definitely
cultural
not there. You could tell by watching
this year,
it.
yeah.
You could tell by watching
No,
it.
last year was the same way. It's been dwindling. When Nintendo pulled out, when Sony pulled out, when they started doing their own things rather than waiting during a specific time of year, they're like, well, let's do it now. Let's compete. We're not held to this. So they all started their own ideas. And when everyone's doing whatever they want and they're not following like the same path in competition, things go crazy. E3 used to hold everything together into like a holding pattern, and it doesn't do that now. Now they can announce at K-PAX. Now they can announce on their website. Now they announce whenever they want to. There's no format. There's nothing common holding the gaming industry together. And the good thing, like Kyle mentioned, is there's more room for indie developers. But the point is the indie developers, they've always been there. There would be little ads in like GamePro or PC Gaming or what have you, whatever games that you used to read. There would be little ads about, hey, this small-time developer has come up with this game, so on and so on. And you'd hear one mention of it and then nothing ever again because there was no market to buy the games. They were more considered like test concepts, or this, that, the other, trying to get the attention of bigger studios to fund them or buy their game or release it and so on. Now they can do it themselves.
Good point.
Yeah.
Again, E3 is just it's a dinosaur. It's just the convention.
Yeah, I think everyone on this side, we do agree with you. And
I miss it, dude. I miss it. I miss the hype. I miss the excitement. But also, you brought up the point. Maybe and you didn't say it in these words, but maybe I've just outgrown it. We are adults now. We're not like in high school where we could spend all year
stepping around the concept that he's a little bit older. Look at him.
I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick your scrotum through your face.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Is that everyone?
You'll have your
tune
balls inverted out of your mouth.
Tune in for next week. Me and Shawn get in a fight, but we're all oiled up.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll pay.
A cuddle fight. It's a cuddle fight.
Cuddle fight. I'm going for your
I'll bring the
throat.
oil.
I'm gonna say. How much
You can cuddle my throat anytime, baby.
I know where to get gallons of lube. Don't worry.
I know.
Dude, they have them on Amazon. I
know
have it in
I
my
know they
wish
do.
list.
My shopping cart.
What is it like? Is it like what $1,000 and you get like 60
It's an
gallons
oil
of
drum.
lube?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Flavored too.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh, strawberry.
Dude, imagine how much you can do with all that lube.
Wasn't the name of that thing?
You go over to Antony's house and there's just a blue barrel in the middle and there's no bed anymore. You knock on the door and his head pops up out of the barrel.
Dildo,
You showed her a dildo on
No. It wasn't a dildo. It was.
Did you
Remember
just showed your sister a dildo on Amazon?
No. Shawn, remember that thing I read you the description for? What was it, like the Fuck Me Silly 5000 or something?
Oh,
2 AA batteries, 5 hours of entertainment.
I wish there were that. No, it's just like a slab of like ass, and it's like
that's
something.
what it is.
Yeah, and it's something you put your
I've
wiener
seen
in.
those.
Yeah, everyone's seen them. I'll show you guys after the podcast.
I can't wait.
Yeah, for all
Is
any of
there
you
an
out there that are lonely, there you go. Fuck Me Silly on Amazon. It's like $200, and it's just like all.
It's like a bunch of silicone.
Yeah, and it comes in black and white.
He's got his.
Oh, he's got his.
There we
Andrew's
go.
brought the tablet
Put
out.
his password in wrong.
All right, everyone. So again, that was our discussion on E3. That was a little bit of our talk, what we think about E3 going forward, what we thought about this year's E3, and a bit of just giving you guys that news for E3. Again, we apologize that it's going to run that it did run a little bit short, but we are on some time constraints. Everything should be normal by next week, and we'll definitely be excited to get back to you guys and get back into just news as we move closer to fall. So thank you all for joining us, and we have all of our hosts here. We're going to give everyone a little bit of a sign off before we go. So
real quick, Kyle, I just want to ask you guys real quick. What's your favorite game from E3?
from E3,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Definitely.
Actually,
Beyond Good and
I
Evil.
was just curious. Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil looks really good too. Spider-Man's definitely high up there.
Right off the bat, yeah.
It wasn't shown at E3.
Matterfall looks really good.
Matterfall's cool. It wasn't shown at E3, but I'm really excited for Destiny 2. And there's this other game coming out called Code Vein, which is like a Dark Souls-esque game that's anime style. That looks really cool too. But yeah, super excited for Spider-Man. I think it's going to be really cool. And then what about you, Antony? What do you think?
No, I already.
All jokes aside, Days Gone.
Okay.
Days Gone.
Okay, cool. Days Gone looks cool.
Seriously.
That's cool because I'd have to say Anthem as like the new game.
Anthem looks awesome.
That definitely looks interesting. I'm gonna have to look more into that. But like then my fan favorite, I like the Shadow War Middle Earth series.
Yeah.
that sequel. So.
That looks cool with Shrek in it.
Yeah, it's all ogre now.
It's all ogre.
Shawn, yourself.
Yeah, what about you,
What
Shawn?
about you, Shawn?
I'm all up on Beyond Good and Evil, man. I've been waiting for that sequel since the first game came out. So that's my baby. That's what I'm super psyched on. Anthem, I'm excited about. I'm excited about the new Metro and Matterfall. Matterfall's really got me interested. I want to see what more a lot of them, it's just games to watch. Like I'm watching to see what they do with them and what happens. Because I'm going to buy something. It's just figuring out which one I'm going to put my vote behind, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'm definitely buying Beyond Good and Evil when it comes out. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you should
As
see
much as I hate Ubisoft, I'm all on that.
Yeah, you should see my pre-order list on Amazon. I got like 10 games in there. I'm like, shit. It's good they don't charge you until they ship them. But so yeah, again, thank you all for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and I don't know, everyone think of something to sign off with. But this was your host Kyle, and I was joined by my co-host Caitlin,
Have a good week, guys.
Antony over there.
Segon Kargaran.
Oh my god.
Best game.
He said it wrong with Senran Kagura.
Senran Kagura.
And then Tyler over there.
This is Ellen Ripley signing off.
And then Shawn, what you got to say for us? Give us your motto.
Hugs and kisses to all your pink parts.
There you go. So you all have a beautiful week, and thank you for listening.
Bye.